And you got a lot of information. Like, can you tell us a little bit about your background so these ladies know where you coming from?
Professionally?
Yes.
Yeah, so I actually worked professionally as a classroom teacher, taught second and third grade for 4 years,
Okay.
transitioned out of the classroom in 2011, so an entire decade ago. Since then, I have been exploring different elements of entrepreneurship, but my main focus has historically been in the empowerment space and working specifically with Black women. So everything to help Black women make the money and get the honey, that is what I am all about.
Okay. Let's get into the first question. It's gonna be, what are common mistakes women are making nowadays while courting a man and looking for a man?
You said while courting a man or while
Yeah.
being courted by a man?
While being courted by a man.
Okay. So I would say some of the biggest mistakes for sure. Number one would definitely be like not being intentional about how they're spending their time, who they're spending their time with. I think that a lot of women date out of boredom where they just don't have anything better to do tonight. So I'm going to go, hang out with so and so with no intention behind, building something or
Mm.
really exploring like the potential possibility of a relationship with that person. They just don't have anything better to do. So I think not being intentional about how you're spending your time and who you're spending your time with is like the quickest way to waste your time. I also think that women are having sex too soon. I
What's
think
too
that's a big
soon?
thing. So I don't, rattle off a whole bunch of rules. I don't
Mm.
necessarily subscribe to the 90-day rules, things
Hmm.
like that. But what I feel like, you're grown, you can gauge when too soon is or whenever you feel like you're ready. But I think that a lot of times women don't wait until they're ready. They don't wait until there is a possibility or some conversation around commitment. Like, are we actually going somewhere? I think a lot of times women have sex because they want commitment or they think that the sex is going to get them somewhere. And I don't think that that is working out in our favor.
Give me three, like, red flag, automatic, toxic traits that women are ignoring but they like. I've interviewed like a handful of ladies here on my podcast, and they have these traits that, like, the guy is like too insecure. Like, he checks on me all the time, but I kind of like it. The guy don't like what I wear. I like when he tells me to change. Like, some girls like stuff like that. So, what are three things that are that common that girls say they don't like but they like?
You got me with the say they don't like but they like, because I think what you just referenced is probably what I would say, and I think that those are like subtle signs that there's probably some manipulation, borderline like emotional abuse that
Mm,
women don't often.
true.
And so I think that that leads a lot of women, myself included, to get into these relationships that are abusive, but because we're not, getting knocked upside the head, we don't recognize it as abuse. We just think, he really, really likes us and he can't help it. And, all of those types of things. But that's very much so